The bookstore is right there. You can't see it, but here I am in my car. And I bought 2 books. I got Emily Henry's Funny Story and also The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky.
Hi, that's me, Melody. That's the book I'll be reading in this vlog, and those are objects you should ignore.
So I got 2 books. I got Emily Henry's Funny Story and I got The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. Did I get it? Okay. I got 2 books, The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky and the star of the show, the star of the vlog, Emily Henry's Funny Story. Now, I got this book because it's been calling my name, but that's not what we're reading. This is for a different video, for another time. Subscribe, you know, if you want to be here for the moment. But this is the moment. This is the girl. And I'm so excited. I've never read Emily Henry before, and it is the time. It is now time for Emily Henry, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait. And so I'm gonna start reading like now, and then I'll get back to you guys with an update as soon as possible. So I almost forgot to show you guys the naked cover. It is gorgeous. We have white and pink and this like very pretty blue. Like I love it so much. It's so cute, and I cannot wait. So let's start reading literally right now. It is so hot, but I don't even care. I have to start it before I get on the road. For Brie, who picked me up from the airport the night we first met and drove me through a snowstorm without ever looking back. I struck gold with you. So I just finished the first chapter, and so far I think I'm gonna like it. I think or not like the first chapter, but the first kind of like the introduction to like the characters. So we have our main character Daphne, who okay, I think my car is haunted, y'all. Like, what is that? So we have our main character, Daphne Vincent, which I find very interesting because our author's name is Emily Henry. Like, I wonder if she does that in her other books, and I wonder if that's like if she did it on purpose. Like, we have Emily, kind of a like traditional female name, and then Henry, a traditional male name, and then we have Daphne Vincent. I think that's so cool. That's so fun. Who was like engaged to some guy named Peter, whatever his last name is. But what happened was Peter went to his bachelor party and invited his straight girl best friend. And then at the end of the bachelor party, Peter's like, I'm sorry, I'm in love with this girl named Petra, my best friend. And he was like, yeah, we're going on a trip to Europe. When we get back, you better be out of here. So that's what I've read so far, and I'm liking it. Okay. Sorry.
distraction-free environment. Please don't text, don't post, don't talk. Because when phones are turned off and the lights are turned down, the movie really shines.
Hey guys, so I'm really excited to come back and talk to you about Funny Story because I'm about halfway through. However, first I gotta talk about the movie that I saw earlier today, and that is Fall Guy, or The Fall Guy. 10 out of 10 recommends. Now, I do realize this is like a romance reading vlog, so like recommending action movie, I don't know how well that's gonna go over, but I mean, it does star Ryan Gosling, and there's a scene where he is shirtless, only one shot, but it's there, and then also he wears a hat backwards in a sequence, or was it just a scene? I don't know, but like I'm just saying, if that's like something that you're into, it's there, so you should like go see it before it leaves theaters, because there are like explosions and like car chases and a lot of action scenes, and it's like non-stop action. It's so fun and it's funny. It's like a little bit meta, and it also is like kind of like giving, like, I guess, props to stunt guys, stunt doubles, stunt people, because they don't really get a lot of recognition. So it's just kind of an ode to them and also to filmmaking, and it's like so fun. So you should go see it in theaters, because it is so great. You should have a good time, unless you like really hate action movies, or you hate movies where you get to just like turn off your brain and just like watch things unfold and have a good time. Like, if you're not into that, maybe you won't like it, but if you are, you're definitely gonna enjoy it, or at least I did. But okay, back to the star of the show, Funny Story, which is going so well. So I'm about halfway through, and stuff's happening. Like, Miles and Daphne, yeah, they're definitely getting into it. Things are happening. I can tell that feelings are a brewing, and yeah, it's great. So well, not really so, but however, the one thing I have to say about it is that nothing is really happening yet. I know I just said Miles and Daphne are like getting into the thing, but like apart from that, which honestly is like the Miles and Daphne thing is like slow itself, but like apart from that, it feels like nothing has happened, because I think this is not a plot heavy book, and even the relationship between Miles and Daphne isn't like, it doesn't seem like it's the main plot. Like, Daphne is trying to put together a readathon for the library for kids, and I feel like that technically is the main plot, and like Miles and Daphne are sort of the background, but like still, even like the main plot, the readathon, like it's kind of like slow going. It feels like there's so many things happening, but it's like not overwhelming, but like so many things are happening that just like the page time is like split evenly, and so it just is like slow, but like not slow at the same time. Like, I never am like, ugh. Like, it gives like lit fic, I guess, a little bit, wherein it's just like, I feel like in lit fic or like general fiction, like things just take their time, you know what I mean? So things are taking their time in this novel, and not in a bad way. It's just like, it's great. It's just like, it's so great. I do feel like, I don't know, do I read you, does this happen in vlogs? Like, do I read you some of my favorite quotes? Because I have them here, you know. I have marked some pages that are like, that are great. Oh wait, hold on, let me tell you something. A note that I took is that Daphne says to Miles, I think, that audiobooks count as reading. And I think that that's also Emily telling you, if you ever think that audiobooks don't count, think again. Audiobooks count as reading. So if you believe in that, or if you need to hear that, pick up this book. Okay, what I really like is the first time they kiss. They kiss under certain circumstances that I will not say, but like, it's great, because obviously the first kiss, you know, after that first kiss, if it's like good, you know, you kind of want more, and you know, things happen. So like, if you want to know what goes on in between that, pick up the book. What else? I also find that there are elements of found family, which I'm really enjoying. And so one of the things that like Daphne is going through is she like picked up her life and moved for her ex-fiance Peter, moved to his hometown, and she doesn't have any friends or family that lives there, and so now she's making friends, and that's just so great for her, and it just feels like, you know, she's finding a family, and I love that for Daphne. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to continue reading, and the next time you see me, I will have finished the book, and I will kind of give you my overall thoughts. I apologize if maybe some of the thoughts repeat themselves, but yeah, I'm so glad I picked this book up, and I am so excited to finish it. I have finished Funny Story by Emily Henry, and now I've come to kind of talk about it and review it for you guys. First of all, I would like to say I 100% recommend it. I feel like it's like, I don't know, could it be a book for everyone? I feel like it could. Like, I don't read romance a lot, and in fact, like, I feel like this is only my second actual romance that I've read, like, ever. Like, of course, I've read books with, like, where, like, a romance was, like, the subplot, but The Love Hypothesis, I think, was, like, my first romance. And now this is only my second. So I mean, I wouldn't say I don't like romance. So, but, like, can you read it? Can you like it if, like, you don't read romance often? I feel like the answer is yes. Because, I don't know, it's just a fun story. And I guess also kind of a funny story. And yes, maybe in some moments you might have to suspend your disbelief, but, like, that's what fiction is, you know? You're here for, like, a good time, and this novel right here, it was a great time. So, funny story. I never read the little blurb, so let's do that. Daphne always loved the way her fiancé Peter told their story. How they met, how they fell in love, and how they moved back to his lakeside hometown to begin their life together. He really was good at telling it, right up until the moment he realized that he was actually in love with his childhood best friend, Petra. This is how Daphne begins her new story. Stranded in a beautiful Waning Bay, Michigan, without friends or family, but with a dream job as a children's librarian, and proposing to be roommates with the only person who could possibly understand her predicament, Petra's ex, Miles Nowak. Scruffy and chaotic, with a penchant for taking solace in the sounds of heartbreak love ballads, Miles is exactly the opposite of practical, buttoned-up Daphne, whose co-workers know so little about her, they have a running bet that she's either FBI or in witness protection. The roommates mainly avoid one another until one day, while drowning their sorrows, they form a tenuous friendship and a plan. If said plan also involves posting deliberately misleading photos of their summer adventures together, well, who could blame them? But it's all just for show, of course, because there's no way Daphne would actually start her new chapter by falling in love with her ex-fiance's new fiance's ex. Right? So, let's talk about Funny Story by Emily Henry. Okay, so, first of all, I guess let me just say that I'm a fan here, and I'm so glad that I just decided to pick her book up. My first Emily Henry, and it was like a great time. I guess from this book, if all the books, the rest of her work, like, is similar, you know, I get what the girlies are, you know, talking about, because this was like really fun and I really enjoyed it. So we basically start the novel, like, it starts when Daphne and Peter are engaged, and Peter is having his bachelor party, and Petra, Peter's best friend from childhood, who is a straight woman, she comes to the bachelor party, and basically Peter comes back from the bachelor party to Daphne, and he's like, hey babe, I'm sorry, I'm actually in love with Petra. We're gonna go on a trip, and when we come back, you need to be out of my house. And so Daphne, of course, like, just heartbroken, doesn't understand. She has to find somewhere to go, and I forget exactly how it happened, but she ends up becoming roommates with Miles, who is Petra's ex. And let's see. Basically, I mean, they kind of go without really, like, talking to each other much, until Miles and Daphne receive, like, a wedding invitation, like an RSVP for Petra and Peter's wedding. And don't forget, Petra is Miles' ex, and Peter is Daphne's ex-fiance. So, like, Petra and Peter are getting married after knowing each other, like, are engaged after, like, not knowing each other, but, like, confessing their love to each other, like a week later. So they have, like, the bachelor party, they're like, we're in love, they go on a trip, and they come back, and basically it's like, we're getting married, we're engaged. Yeah, so that night that they get the invitation, they kind of, like, Miles and Daphne, they, like, drink together, and this is, like, their first, like, bonding moment. And then they're like, we got to RSVP to the wedding, just to, like, you know, just to show them, like, we're okay or whatever. And then the next morning, Peter calls Daphne, and Peter's like, you know, you don't have to go to the wedding, like, it's fine, like, don't worry, like, I don't want you to be there alone. And she's like, I'm not gonna be alone. And then somehow it just falls out of her mouth. She tells Peter, well, you know what, I'm gonna be there with my new boyfriend, and my new boyfriend is Miles. And then she's like, oh crap, what do I do? And so she, like, goes to Miles. She's like, Miles, like, I'm so sorry, but I just told Peter we're dating. And he's like, okay. Miles is just like, sure, whatever, that's fine. And Miles kind of leans into it. He's like, it's okay, like, let's post a picture together. And they post a picture together, and blah, 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 blah. And that's kind of when it starts. And then eventually, like, you know, they start bonding together. And yeah, that's a kind of, like, gets the story, like, started, and we just kind of, like, see the story of Miles and Daphne. And of course, like, there are, like, Miles has a backstory and Daphne has a backstory, and we do, like, get to see those, like, the backstories in play. But personally, like, I feel like book lovers, I've heard, like, gets, like, the worst, like, I feel like it's people's least favorite Emily Henry, and it has to do with, like, the characters, like, personalities, and also maybe spending too much time talking about, like, their backstories or something like that, or other people who aren't the main characters. But I feel like there is just a good balance here of, like, Miles and Daphne in the present, and then Miles's past and like Daphne's past, and I feel like it was just like a good like marriage between them. And I think Emily, I feel like she's a really good writer because she does like the way she kind of drifts like from the present straight into the past. She is able to do that like really, really well. And it's like one moment you're like in the present, and then she really easily relates it back to something that happened like in the past or like an explanation, and it's like really good. And I feel like the story is like very well paced, and I wasn't exactly ever bored. Now of course there was a third act conflict, and that was like my least favorite part. I'm not like a big fan of third act conflicts, because even though I don't like read romances all the time, I do watch romance movies, like, so I am very familiar like with that concept. And gosh, like it's not my favorite. I feel like it just like kind of just brings just the mood down, and then it finishes so fast. Like I feel like I would love it to happen like earlier or something, or for it to not be there at all. I feel like this book could have been like so great like without it. And in addition to like their backstories, there's also like kind of a plot happening in Daphne's life. Like she is a children's librarian, and she's like doing this readathon thing for the library, and like at the end, of course, happy ending, the readathon like goes really, really, really well, and everything. And I just feel like it would have just been so perfect if like Miles and Daphne fall in love, and then we just like go straight into the success of the readathon and everything. And it would have been like so, I feel like it's just so much warmer. But yeah, that third act like conflict, like it just made it like just not as like warm as it could have been, because it was so nice, it was so special to like see like Daphne be successful in this thing that she was trying to do for the library and for the kids. Like it was great, but unfortunately right before that it was like a conflict, and it just was like, well, yay, I'm happy for Daphne, but at the same time it's just like I'm still thinking about this conflict that is still technically happening during this good time, and it's just like so it creates like a conflict of feelings, which I'm not a fan of. I wish it was just like happy all the way through, but that's fine, it's fine. Also, I think the book is also about like how it has like found family vibes to it too. Like it's not only a romance, but it's kind of like found family, because Daphne she moved to this town for Peter, and Peter left her, and so she's here, and she doesn't have any family here, and she doesn't have any friends. So it's like eventually when like she starts hanging out with Miles, like Miles is like, let me show you around, like let me see if I can make you fall in love with this town. And then she starts making friends, and it's like really beautiful. And you know, she ends up finding her like being able to see herself in Waiting Bay, and it's just gorgeous. Oh, also something I absolutely loved. I am such a summer girl, spring girl. I love warm weather. And so even though it takes place in Michigan, it does kind of take place during the summer for the most part. And even though I live in the South, I live in Georgia. So Michigan summers and Georgia summers, they're not the same. But still, like the way there's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful language describing like the weather and the sunsets and just the way things look, the way things feel. They're by Lake Michigan, so there's like beaches, and like they go to the beach at night, and like I can imagine like a Michigan summer being sort of similar to a Georgia like fall. And like I don't like fall, but I know what that feels like, and it's still, you know, the weather is not like terrible, and I can just imagine being out on like a chilly night and like still being able to like have fun and just feeling like it could be summer because you're having such a great time and you're by a body of water. And You can hear like the waves crashing, and so it's got really, really good like summer vibes, and I really, really, really enjoyed that. Like, it made me feel like so ready for summer, and it makes me like so excited to go like to the lake and go to the pool and go to a beach, hopefully, and just like relax. And also, again, with like the found family kind of vibes, it like makes me want to go out and like find people to like be friends with, and just like yeah, it was just good. It was so enjoyable, and so like all the vibes are there. So another part that I really enjoyed were like the spicy scenes, I guess. Like, I don't read romance a lot, but so like I guess maybe for me, like, it's a treat. Like, I don't know how to rate them to say like how good they were, but like to me, I really enjoyed them, and I like they're good. They're good. And like because I don't like really read romance too often, like I don't exactly know what a slow burn is, but slow burn vibes. Cause like once they start hanging out, you know that they're like into each other, and it's just like, okay, when is it gonna happen? When is it gonna happen? And then finally they kiss, and then it's like, thank God. But then of course it takes forever for other things to happen. And so it also just gave like, I guess, I don't know, slow burn vibes from what I know a slow burn is, because there's just a lot of like tension building and building and building and building until finally it happens. Yeah, I love that so much. I loved the romantic element, and I loved how it wasn't just like, I loved how, you know, sometimes you read romance or books with romance or even watch, like, it's like one moment they're like in love, they're confessing their love for each other, and you're just like, when did this happen? It wasn't like this at all. Like, they actually spent time with each other, and you could see, like, without Emily like stating it directly, you know, show don't tell, like, she was like showing that like things were happening, and it was easy to grasp on, and it was happening slow enough to where when like finally, you know, they're in that state where they are saying specific things to each other, it's like, yeah, that makes sense. Because as the audience, as a reader, like, you were seeing it all along. It didn't just happen like, you know, just like that. Like, they put in time, they like were intimate with each other, they shared things with each other, they hung out, they had time to actually develop feelings, and it just made so much sense. And I love that about the romantic element of the book. So that's Emily Henry's funny story. Yeah. Again, I recommend it, and I thank you guys so much for watching this vlog and watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you've read Funny Story, you gotta let me know in the comments below. How'd you like it? What problems did you have with it? What did you like the most about it? I want to know so bad. Let's have a discussion. If you have not read it yet, let me know in the comments when you're gonna pick it up, and then when you do, you can always like DM me on Instagram or leave a comment in this video after you read it, and just let me know how you found it, because it's like so good. It's just so good. She's a great writer, and she knows how to tell a story, and I think especially if you're a reader, you can relate. I feel like in all her books it kind of gives like, this book is meant for someone who likes reading, because this main character is a librarian. I know in some of her other books, like, her characters are like writers and stuff like that. So it's just like, she wants to invite you in. There's like little Easter eggs for like readers and stuff, people who are interested in books, like things that you'll relate to, like. So yeah, let's one more time get a look of the beautiful naked cover. I'm obsessed. I love pastels. It gives springtime. I love like blue, pink, like it gives cotton candy vibes, which also is like a summer thing. Yeah, just I love it. Like, my walls are blue, which honestly on camera they don't look as good as they look in real life. I don't know why, but my walls are like similar to this blue. They're a little bit more pastel, but and then I love this pink too. So yeah, it's just, I love the aesthetic of this, and it so fits, I feel like, the content of the book. It's just like, it's great. It's cute. It's great. Yeah, so I guess I will see you next time. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I don't vlog often, but if you guys show that you really like this, then maybe I will vlog more. Oh, another thing, let me know if there are any books that you would like me to read and vlog my experience of. I would greatly appreciate that. And until next time, bye.
Hello fellow storytellers and story lovers. I want to thank you kindly for watching my video. If you want to see more from me, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at MelodyCLane. If you're looking for someone to help you develop your story, I'm available. You can find more information on my website. The link is in the description below.